How are you guys doing? Guys, listen. Today I got snowed in for school. We had a snowstorm and it's still snowing now. I just decided to come out and you know, get some fresh air and just I wanted to actually see how the roads were. That's one of the reasons why I came out. I wanted to see how the roads were. And they slushy. They slushy. They not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So, everybody's just really taking their time. Everybody's really just taking their time riding around. Y'all, excuse my notifications. They are so loud. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Okay, guess what we not finna do? Hold on, y'all, because I can't hear this all day long. Let me see. Here, let me see. Okay, that's good. Okay, I'm gonna turn it. Hey, QST, how you doing? Girl, we done messed around and got snowed in. I done messed around and got snowed in. Done messed around and got snowed in. So I said, let me just I just took a little road trip, just, riding around to see how the roads are now. Hopefully I'm quite sure they're gonna be better tomorrow. Michigan is really good about the salt trucks. So hopefully, because we get a lot of snow. So I was just like, let me just take a road trip and say hi to y'all. It's sunny here. Where you at? Where you at, QSD? Whoa, sorry guys. Where you at? Where you at, QST? Oh my God. I wish I was in some California, of course. Guys, I wish I was in Nigeria with my husband. That's where I wish I was at. You know what I'm saying? But things are so unsafe there. Y'all please keep them in prayer. And then I see that our president has put in some new restrictions overnight for immigration. So guys, just pray for foreigners and I'm just saying this like not just because my husband's a foreigner, but pray for foreigners who have been here for decades and have worked really hard and they are like productive members of society. You know what I'm saying? And they pay their taxes and you know what I'm saying? They contribute to the community and they just are good people, and it's so sad to see what's going on with these individuals. You said I'm so pretty. You think so? I feel I feel bloated. To be honest. I feel bloated. But anywho. Hey Vaughn, I said nothing but love your way, baby, because you deserve it. Send nothing but love your way, QST, because you deserve it. So we got snowed in, guys. And I just was like, let me take a gander and see what's going on out here. So I came to like a close by park. And it's still snowing, but it's beautiful. The view is beautiful. Guys, and I come through this park like to go home. And so yesterday as I was coming through the trail or whatever, guess what? I seen a whole family of deer. I was like, this is my first time seeing deer in this park. Now there is like a little back in the wood part. I don't know if y'all, let me see if I can turn it. How do I turn it? Let me see. Can y'all see? Can you see? Okay, so look right over there, like y'all see all that forest right there? Y'all see all that forest? Okay, so listen, that's where I'm suspecting the family of deer lives. But as I was driving down the trail yesterday, I seen one deer. And so I slowed down. It was huge. When I say huge, huge. The antlers were so huge. And so we let it cross because it was another car. We let it cross. And then there was another one further down. We let it cross. And then as I got towards the end of the road to go back into like the residential area, a whole family came across. I was like, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. What y'all doing? And on the other side, On the other side of the park, it's a tennis court and like mansions and residential area over there. So I'm like, where's y'all going? Y'all should be going this way, and they going that way. So I didn't know what the heck they was doing. Maybe they know something. Maybe somebody know. You know, they say the animals know what's gonna happen before we do. I don't know, but they was going the wrong way. I'm like, what y'all going that way for? But anywho, I said, let me just take a little ride since I'm snowed in, and look at the roads. And I was like, hoping I see some more deers. And the funny thing is, I travel this road every day, and okay, I'm sorry guys, I don't know what happened, but I guess the weather, I don't know, it is snowing. But anywho, it said reconnected or whatever. But I'm just out here chilling. Like a villain. Don't used to working every day and don't know what it is. I mean, I know how to take a good vacation. Don't get me wrong. I got kind of hot. I know how to take a good vacation, but normally I'm working, so I guess this is how the rest of the world live. No, everybody. Some people just park, and I realized that this park also has a hall. That's good to know. And I think somebody's having an event there. So, who is this? Fatima, you look gorgeous. You think so, Fatima? This is my sister. Y'all show her some love. I don't know. I feel bloated. I feel like, I did take my iron pill today, but I still feel like, I don't know. This morning I did cook me some eggs, and I had used margarine, and that could be it, because I normally don't eat margarine. But I had did me some eggs, and I could like to eat tomato on top of my eggs, and then I kind of sauteed some onions, and I don't know, maybe it was too much acidic, because now I feel, ugh. You know what I'm saying? So I always look, oh, thank you, Fatima. I appreciate that. Guys, I appreciate that, but it did make me feel yucky. That's because I normally don't eat like margarine and stuff like that, and I don't fry stuff. But I'm like, well, since I'm home, I might as well cook. How you doing, SBK? I said nothing but love your way. Thank you for the roses. You always bringing them in. Yeah, and I just like that margarine. I think I used too much margarine this morning, because it made me feel ugh. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, I've been doing intermittent fasting, guys. I've been doing really good with that. It's been, y'all can't really tell because of this dang old jacket, but I have lost a little bit. No, I've lost a little bit. I have. The fasting is working. It's working, guys. It's just that initially you got to train yourself to get in the mode of it, and now it's like second nature. I will think about like, oh, I ain't ate. Like I was driving down the street today, just driving, and I'm like, oh, I ain't ate. That's probably why I feel like, woo, you know what I'm saying? Try not to fast, all day, and then I didn't get all my fluids in too, like I normally. So y'all know me. I be trying. I'm trying. So now we doing the intermittent fasting. I was riding on the bike. Now we trying this. Because I got to get this weight off of me before I see my husband. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So y'all, like I said, pray for my husband, guys. Pray for Nigeria, all the African states. Please pray for them. If anybody is on TikTok, y'all just go ahead and Google Boko Haram. Boko Haram, the Islamic extremists, and then type in Nigeria, and you guys will see exactly what's going on in Nigeria. They got restrictions now. It is not safe to travel the roads at all. Now they are telling people don't even. My husband, he's not traveling the roads for the holidays and stuff. There's restrictions. They are not allowing them to travel. They can't be on the roads when it's dark. They are kidnapping people left and right, and just masquerading and murdering and unaliving, I should say, people left and right. So it's not necessarily them persecuting Christians over there. I think I explained this before in another live. Excuse me. It is a tribal. So the Igbo and the Yoruba tribe are predominantly Christian. However, the Islamic, allegedly, I guess I gotta say allegedly, are seeking them out. The Islamic group, African group, they are seeking those particular tribes out. So you guys, please keep them in prayer. They keep saying Trump is coming over there. Trump is coming over there because he is standing against the persecution of Christians. They keep saying that, and the people are hopeful, and they hopeful that Trump will come. But I'm the type of person. I want to see action. I have actually reached out to the White House, and I know y'all saying it would be you. I have actually reached out to the White House and messaged them, like emailed them and let them know, hey, I have a husband over there, it's Dyer over there. And then guess what? They actually responded. I don't know if it was auto generated, but I actually got a letter from Mr. Trump. It was signed off. It looks like it's just you know how they do. They copy his signature or whatever. And yeah, they sent me an email back. And I'm just like, they need, it should be all over the news. Like, it should be all over the news. Like, how they got Ukraine all in the news every other day, and what's happening in Russia and Ukraine. That is how it should be in Nigeria. It should, in the Western news. It should be all over the place, because some of the stuff that I've seen and some of the stuff that my husband has shown me is so graphic and so horrible that anywhere else it would be just people would just be in awe. They would be just so taken back. They would be so disgusted. You know what I'm saying? And the people would be trying to get justice, but because these people have a darker pigmentation, I'm just gonna leave it right there. You understand what I'm saying? These people are suffering. My husband saying we live in fear when we eat, and we live in fear to go shopping. We live in fear. They taking shifts to sleep. Like, it's bad. It's bad, and it's like the world don't care. The world don't care until it's something that they need or want. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So I'm watching to see what he's gonna do, because it's been like this for the last month and a half, 2 months. I mean, there's always been some type of element of violence, unsafe. As far as what do you call those people? Who do you call those people? The people who do like ritualists. There's always been that there, but never on this level where they're just kidnapping people and kidnapping 25 girls and 100 students and kidnapping a whole busload of people, and you trying to get ransom and all of this stuff. People got to live like that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's very frustrating. It has been extremely um hey, how you doing, Scorp? I say nothing but love your way, because you deserve it. It has been extremely draining. It has been extremely stressful. You know what I'm saying? Because this is real life happening. And a lot of times we sensationalize, that part of the world. We sensationalize it, or just me, even me now, right now, talking about it. People they're gonna make jokes about it, punchlines about it. They're gonna why she do that anyway. I don't know why she got involved with somebody like that. These people bleed just like we bleed. They're human just like we are. They have families and loved ones, and they are, what I'm saying, they are worth carrying. This jacket is getting on my last nerve. They are human. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, even me talking about it right now, I guarantee you, people who see this live, they're gonna have so many jokes and conversations about it. Like, and that's another thing before I lose my thought. Another thing is, what I've noticed by being in my marriage and being in this LDR relationship, just the fact that my husband is from Nigeria, and it's Nigerian. People look at him, or when I'm talking about him, I notice that they have this little smirk on their face, as if he's not relevant, as if he's not a real husband, or is my situation ain't real, or my marriage ain't real because he's over there, he's a Nigerian, as if he's not a real person. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is so disrespectful. In a lot of Western cultures, they do that. If you don't look like an American, you're not in America, you don't behave like American, you ain't over here, it's like your value to them, to us, to some Western individuals, it's like the value decreases for some reason. And I'm just trying to figure that out, because his heart beat just like my heart beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's human. He cries real tears like I cry real tears. There's no difference other than where he lives. But in our mind, in this Western ideology, we kind of feel like we are superior to everybody else. And I've even noticed that around other, African Americans, my counterparts, when I'm speaking about my husband, the look on their faces like, girl, that ain't real. You talking about your marriage like it's real. You talking about your marriage like he has some value, or he, and I peek it, and I discern it, and I'm like, this is so disrespectful. It's like, who are you to even say something? Because your husband Nigeria, he way over there because of the majority, or because of what has happened historically with African men and American women and Europe women, and just the notion of scamming and all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like they walk with that banner like they all are like that. You know what I'm saying? They all are like that. And it's just simply not the truth. It's just simply not the truth. Guys, I constantly remind you of the conversation I had when we were first dating, and I was like, y'all Nigerian, all of y'all the scammers. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, that's the connotation I came with. You know what I'm saying? He's like, well, I know about you. He's like, I know about y'all in Detroit. He's like, is everybody over there a crackhead? And I'm like, well, no. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I know about, so it's just like, it can go both ways. You could be dropped down in Nigeria and people be looking at you like, oh, you just a dumb, incompetent American. A lot of African people think that. A lot of African people think that they are superior to us. You know what I'm saying? Because we're American, and they think that we are entitled and that we're privileged because we're not in we're not in a third world country. They think that we have too much and that we don't preserve, and that we take things for granted, and that we are just not grateful for what we have, and we have an excessive amount. They think a lot of them think that, but is that true? Right? Is that true about everybody? About every American? Of course it's not. So why would we assume that all Nigerians are like that, or won't even have the decency to have respect for them? And that's what I have encountered. Um, during the duration of my relationship and my marriage, there's a lot of people that I just notice when I have these conversations and when I talk about my husband, you get this look, or they make a gesture like, girl, you shouldn't even be in this conversation. You know what I'm saying? You talking about your marriage like it's real. And that's just the energy that I get. You know what I'm saying? And so the first year of our relationship, that when we first met, I spent that whole year really just trying to advocate for my husband, privately and publicly, like just really try to, until I just was like, what are you doing this for? Because people are gonna make up their minds. And there's another thing that just popped in my mind too. You got a lot of people that judge people, and this could be for, and you were just generalizing. A lot of people judge individuals, and they have a whole lot to say. They have a whole lot to say about other people's situation in their business, in their life, in their marriage, in their kids, or whatever it is, when your whole life is toe up too. It baffles me. You know what I'm saying? Like, your whole life is toe up too. And we talk about foreigners or Nigerian men or Nigerian women. We talk about them being scammers, and these women are taking care of these men and all of this stuff. When right here in United States, you got a whole gang of women that are taking care of Pookies and Ray Rays. They take it. They living in. They don't move them in the house, and they taking care of them real good. And that bothers me. Like, I ain't gonna say it bothers me, but it baffles me how you can talk about somebody all the way on the other side of the earth, but you can't look at your situation and see that you actually taking care of your man, your nigga. Especially during tax season. It really baffles me. Oh, it cracks me up. People be having so much to say, or they think they know what's going on, and I'll be sitting there looking at them like, Didn't you just bail them out of jail? Like, I be saying stuff like that in my mind. You know what I'm saying? But you just gotta didn't you just pull them out their mama house? But I dare not return the judgment. I don't return it. But in my mind, I be saying, didn't you just say that he had to move in with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. That you can point your finger at somebody else when you know what's going on in your house for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? And so but we as Americans, we do that. We're so judgmental. We're so quick to look at a situation and cast a judgment on somebody and forget about everything that God has brought you through. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't got a past or a history. You know what I'm saying? And we quick to do that. So that's why the Bible says, be slow to speak. Be slow to speak. You know what I'm saying? You said all this stuff, and you gonna surely reap what you have sown. Putting your mouth on people's lives and assuming things about people. And you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful not to do that. You got to be careful not to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm guilty of it. I've done it throughout the years. I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. You know what I'm saying? But when God brings things to your attention, it's best to take heed. It's funny that you can sit here and give all this sound advice. All this sound advice about you should do this and you should do that and you should be doing this and you should be doing that. Or they'll say why he ain't doing this or why she ain't doing this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, what place is it of you to say anything about anybody and your life ain't top tier at all? It's not. We're all trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has made perfect decisions all of your life. You've had some mistakes because that's how we grow and that's how we learn, right? So we gotta be careful, especially this holiday season, this Christmas season, not to pass judgment on people. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing that Americans do, some Americans, not all Americans, because our culture doesn't match their culture, we pass judgment on these people. Oh, just look at them. Oh, and it baffles me. Oh, just look how they living. Look where they at. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. I mean, it's different than ours, but it's not bad. It's like we fear the unknown or we cast judgment on things that we're not familiar with. I don't know why we do that, but we cast judgment on things that we are not familiar with. And it's like, why do we do that? It's got to be something wrong with it. Or it could be why they don't do this. Why you don't do like they do. I'm gonna tell you one thing about it. When I was over there in Nigeria, I literally lost at least 10 pounds that week. I ate and I was full and I wasn't sluggish. That's because the food was fresh. It wasn't fattening. It wasn't greasy. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It's just they live a healthier way. And it's not like they are intentionally trying to live like this. They're living off of the land and they just was raised to eat better. But in their mind, it's not them eating better. It's just their everyday diet. But I ate so healthy while I was there. I'm trying to think. I don't think I ate not one fried thing that whole week. And if anything was fried, it was like in that palm oil. It was healthy. I'm trying to think. Or it was a tomato-based oil. I'm not for sure. But I ate so healthy. And the people are strong. You know what I'm saying? They're not on the same diet that we have. His grandmother, who is like, she gotta be close to 80, picked me up. I was like, well, I was not expecting that. She was so happy. Excuse me, I'm burping off of this doggone margarine. Excuse me. She picked me up. And I kind of felt bad because I'm like, there's no way in the world this woman should be able to pick me up. I kind of, my womanhood kind of took a hit. I was like, this woman literally picked me up off the ground. She was so happy to see me. And then she climbed up the side of a mountain into her garden. That was another hit to my womanhood. Because I was like, And there's a video I got floating around on my shorts where he was trying to show me part of the village, the garden, and it was one little hill I had to cut. I'm telling you, the hill was like this. It wasn't even like this. It was just like, and he was laughing. He's like, I got to help her up. He was laughing. I felt bad. He was like, I got to help her up. I'm like, so yeah, I'm not used to this. But it just lets you know the physicality, their way of life is different. And it's great. You know what I'm saying? It's great. But we as Americans, somehow we think that they're better. My husband speaks 3 languages. Proper grammar. I mean not grammar, but he's very articulate. Even his English, he's extremely perfect English. But in somebody's mind, they think that he's less than because he's from Nigeria. As if they don't have universities there, and they do. But we as Americans, we do that because we're here and we got, we have technology, we have education, you know what I'm saying? We just have, we work and we have access to things. We assume that we are better than everybody else. And we have been taught that, and our government tells us that we're better. I tell you what, in a dire situation, I know my husband can survive. He knows how to live off the land. He know every herb. He know how to make stuff and stew, and he know how to go, and he know what's, I'm just like, why are we like that? I don't get it. Why are we like that? Why are we like that? We make jokes about other cultures. Even here in the United States, I have friends that are I have friends who are of other cultures, you know what I'm saying, other ethnic groups, and they tell me their experiences, just the everyday life in engaging in Americans and day-to-day stuff. They had to go to the grocery store, they had to go to the hospital. How rude we are to foreigners. Because they have an accent or something, we think that they are incompetent. And that's just simply not the case with your broken English speaking self. You done been to school at least to the 12th grade and you still speaking run-on sentences. But you can't. But you think because you got all of this that you somehow better than the next individual. That my mother never raised me. My mother raised me to be acceptable of all people. Hey, how you doing, Thrive? I said number love your way. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know why we do that. And my foreigner friends here in America, they tell me of the horror stories of how people have the audacity to say things to them and then make reference to some quote they'd have heard in the news from our government. You know what I'm saying? Which saddens me that that you don't have a kind heart nowhere because you identify with one group or the other. See, God gonna get you for that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, that's just incorrect. They tell me all of the time that the exchanges that they have with Americans, and I'm talking about foreign citizens, immigrants here that they got their papers. You said, I must say, not perfect. I can't understand their language. And that's okay, Scorp. That's an honest statement, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? When me and my husband, first started talking, I had to get used to his dialect, and sometimes his accent is heavier than normal, especially when he's passionate and he's talking, and we're having a spat. His dialect gets heavier, and his cadence gets faster. It's okay to say, hey, can you say that again? I don't know, but don't cast judgment. I'm not saying you doing it. I'm just saying in general, don't cast judgment on somebody because they have an accent or their dialect is different. Don't do that. Because guess what? Our verbiage, our language, our dialect is different than theirs because you speak English, not even perfect English. You're not even speaking the Crown's English. They speak the Crown's English over there. You understand? Because you speak English, we somehow think that we are better. Oh, I can't understand them. I can't stand these foreigners. Why are they talking like that? This is how these people were born. And not only that, these are God's creation. God created them like that. God created them like that. You got a problem with these people, then you got a problem with Christ. Exactly. And I see it. The northern states against the southern states. If you got an accent because you from the South, they make it fun. Oh, he from the South. I can tell because his accent, as if Our accent is correct. They tell us that Michiganders have accents. I know my cousins in Pennsylvania. They have a more nasal cadence. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, you know what it is. It's just that people are different, and we just need to accept that. And because they are different, they still deserve our respect. At the end of the day. At the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I can barely. When I was watching Eating with Q's video, some people in the comments, they was like, when he talk, I get frustrated. I can barely understand what he's saying. He is from a whole nother country, You know what I'm saying? If you can't understand what he's saying, then say, hey, you know what? I was trying to watch a video, and your accent was kind of, something on a polite scale. But don't be like how he talk is wrong. That's not how it's not wrong. It's indigenous from where he is from. You understand what I'm saying? It's like people are so freaking weird. Why would he sound like we sound when he's from Africa? I don't get that. I honestly, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, is that the deers? They coming out to play, y'all. The deers is coming out to play. Hold on, y'all. I knew it. Look at that. Oh, never mind. Never mind, y'all. Never mind. That's somebody walking a dog. Well, it's a big dog. Hey, let me see. Yeah, that's a big dog. I got to learn. I got to learn to tell the difference, y'all. I thought the dog was the deer. Lord have mercy. Anyway, but I'm just saying, y'all, we got to do better. I don't know. Looked like one. We got to do better. How you doing, Vanessa? I said nothing but love your way because you deserve it. We got to do better in how we treat people. Do you understand what I'm saying? And they passing all these restrictions and making it hard for foreigners who have been here and worked hard. And I'm going to tell y'all something about America, honey. First of all, this land don't belong to nobody but the Aztecs and the Indians. Because they was here first. Okay, let's just get that clear. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody taking ownership, talking about we gonna do this to it, we gonna bring it back. And honey, listen, it was great before you got here. You understand what I'm saying? America is a melting pot. And the thing about our foreigners and our immigrants, they are so grateful to be here that they're willing to take the jobs that our entitled Americans are not used or won't take. They'll take that $12 an hour job. They'll take the dishwashing job. They'll take the farmer's job. You know what I'm saying? They will go and take the restaurant job because we ain't working for no $12. You understand? So they'll do that. And it keeps our commerce going, and it keeps our nation going. They'll work in produce. That labor job, it keeps it going. Who going working on a farm? I'm not working on no farm, and it's not beneath me, but I'm just not built to work on no farm. They gonna take the jobs that, you know what I'm saying. They gonna take those jobs, and then you got some immigrants who are in corporate America who have built a life for them, who have literally stimulated the economy, and you got some immigrants who are part of the 1%. And they're not appreciated. You so busy trying to get everybody, all of the immigrants out of here. Who's gonna be left to do the labor work? Who's gonna take those jobs that these companies and these corporations, they want to pay peanuts, but they want you to work all day? And they're making it hard for work visas now. They done put it where the government, and I'm gonna turn my car on because it's getting kind of chilly. They done made it so that the corporations, they done made it so that the corporations have to pay $100,000 to sponsor you for a work visa. They don't the fee. It's an atrocity. This is supposed to be the land, and I don't even know how I got on here, but I'm kind of upset about it because this is relatable to me. You know what I'm saying? People just want to live their life and have a better life, and just want to come out of, where they want to raise their children in safety. And it's supposed to be the greatest country on the planet, but you're going to tell them they can't come over here yet. I'm just saying, if you're going to deport them, then everybody need to be deported. If you're going to deport certain people, everybody need to be. That's the foreigner. They need to be deported. How have you been, Quinn? I'm okay. I've been doing good. The last couple of weeks I have been like kind of under the weather, but I feel pretty good today. Y'all know that. Let me just shut up. Because sometimes this video is covered under the section 107, and this is for entertainment purposes only. It's just commentary. It's just me running my mouth. It's just for entertainment purposes only. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, when you looking at the presidential seal, and when you looking at the podium when our government is speaking, and they counterpart and they spouses is up there. Everybody don't speak the king's language up there. I'm just saying. If you're gonna deport people, husbands and wives and stuff, shouldn't everybody, husband and wives that's not of America, that's of foreign descent, shouldn't they be also be looked into and make sure they got their papers right? Shouldn't ICE be knocking on the white on the doors that's colored white? Because everybody ain't American up in there. I'm just saying. You making it hard for everybody else's spouses. We just want transparency. That's all. I'm just saying. It burns me up. You know what I'm saying? It really burns me up because I watched the video and this lady was just walking home. I think from going grocery shopping, just walking home. She's a citizen, just walking home, and ICE was literally trying to take her. And she's like, just leave me alone. And she went in her house, and the husband came out. I was like, this is private property. Why are you here? And the ICE agent was of their culture. He's like, I can't believe it. I got another blankety blank trying to do harm to another blanket. And I'm just like, what are y'all doing? Y'all running? Oh my God. You're running around the country like bandits, talking about you fighting crime, and you snatching people off the street, and you went in that apartment building and detained all those children in the middle of the night. Like, what are you doing? That is not how you prevent illegal aliens from coming into the country. What you need to be doing is checking the paperwork. Go in the system first. Have a reasonable cause instead of riding out here like you got martial law, like you a cowboy running around here. Detaining people is unsafe. People don't stop working. They in fear of their life. It's like they walking around with their papers on them because you just don't know. And it makes it seem like America is not free no more. That's what it made. I told my husband, I'm like, listen, I can get my, finish, school or whatever. I can get my, finish my degree and I can just move over there. And he's like, God forbid. God forbid, because I'm like, do you even are you just anti-foreigners all the way? I mean, you couldn't be because you're married to one, but I'm just saying, are you anti-foreigners all the way? Like, do you hate these people? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see if they breaking laws or they're not paying their taxes or they're robbing people. Okay, I get that. Then yeah, you need to do justice. I get that. We all should be safe. But to be rallying up people and putting all these restrictive things in place to keep foreigners out of the country, it's not what America was built on. It's not what America was built on. At one point they was running this campaign like you can come into the country the right way, where they was trying to appeal like, hey, we're not. But now it's just like especially the African states, especially the African countries. They are putting so many restrictions in place. But I'm just like, not mine. And I mean that because I done cover mine with the blood of Jesus. Because I don't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody trying to, not mine. Not mine. It's ridiculous. They're making it so hard for people to get over here now. You know. But then guess what? You got a whole group of people over in Africa that are thriving. They don't even want to come over here. They're billion. The richest person in the world, one of the richest people in the world is a Nigerian. There is a country over in Nigeria, I forgot the name of it. They're under new leadership, and this man is literally fueling money into his country. And he's made the news. I think he had one meeting with Trump already. They got so much oil and gold and fuel in his country, and that's appealing to the Western world. However, he's protecting his country, which is smart. And he's brilliant. He's doing all type of infrastructure, all type of programs. He's revamping their police system, their justice department. He's a young African man, and he took over, and he is doing in an Arab allegedly an Arab princess proposed to him, wanted to marry him, and of course that's that. That's that. I want to marry you to link our agendas together, and he denied it. He's like, you ain't coming up in here. I was like, wow. Very focused, what I'm saying? Very pro his people. And I love that. Not trying to push just one side agenda. And I love that. If I get a chance, I'll try to share his story on one of my shorts if I get a chance, guys. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this air that we have. I have seen, man, I have been in the presence of watching Americans treat foreigners horribly. I've been in the presence of people treat foreigners like they were the help. Talk to them like they were puppies. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying to myself, you don't even know who these people really are. They have a home life. They have a family. You know what I'm saying? And you really don't know. Honestly, you don't know. You don't know what people go home to. You don't know how well established they are. One thing I know about foreigners, they don't tell you everything. You know what I'm saying? They don't publicize their business and what they got and all that stuff. And they don't do that because they protect their family and their home life. You know what I'm saying? It's us Americans who like to floss and flex and I got this and I just did this and I just did that and all that stuff. I had a foreigner tell me one time, it was so funny. We were on an outing and they was watching this one individual and they was like, oh, I could tell they're not used to money. That junk had me rolling. They like, I could tell they're not used to money because they flaunt everything they have. And they said it's so like casually, and he just went on with the conversation, but that junk was so funny. He's like, they're not used to money, I could tell. And I'm just like, yeah, I guess we would be looking like clowns announcing everything that we do in the GAT and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how we is. We get one little thing, we flying it. We get a new car, we flying it. We get a new bag, we flying it. New hairdo, new teeth, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? That's just how we are. Meanwhile, our foreign counterparts got a whole mansion somewhere sitting. Yeah, they do cooperative economics. Yeah, maybe all their family stay there, but they don't gotta fly it. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on that. Because I see the wisdom in that. You know what I'm saying? But then in that same token, because we got this and we got that and we got this, and you may not see Hareen come in, with his stuff, or you may not see Hareen come in or drive his Mercedes, whatever. You may think he ain't got nothing, and we just fly and we talk to him like they beneath us because you think they ain't got nothing. That's how we do. You know what I'm saying? And it's ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous to me. And it speaks to your character, and it speaks to, It shows your immaturity, and it shows that you're not well-rounded. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I am just saying. I told, what's this this past summer, I spoke to a millionaire for the first time in my life. I literally had a conversation with a millionaire. I thought it was so intriguing. And guess what? They were black. And they didn't look like what you think. They weren't flashing around. But you could tell the spirit of importance was on them, and they were just as humble. I mean, they were like business, though. They were talking that business real quick, and I'm just trying to get my thoughts together, say what I need to say. You know what I'm saying? But they wasn't, like us, like some of us. You know what I'm saying? And it was refreshing to see. It was refreshing to see. It really was. So I guess the moral story to this lie is treat people with respect, regardless of what you think their social class is, or regardless of what you think their status is, or regardless of what they got on, or how they around you, or what they driving. Everybody deserves, even if they got a heavy accent. Because somebody has a heavy accent does not make them incompetent or ignorant. Or because they don't speak proper English or broken English like you, does not make them incompetent. Because they speaking in broken or not broken English, but that heavy accent, you know what I'm saying? Or they don't know all of our words in our language, you know what I'm saying, to convey like we do. We somehow think that they are dumb, and these people speak 3 or 4 languages, and we can't even master English just yet. You can't even put your ideals together well. They're not incompetent. Every foreigner that I know, every foreigner that I've met, they speak more, and I'm not talking about English. They speak like 3 languages, sometimes 4 languages. And we can barely get the alphabet down. We can, we don't even pronounce all the syllables in the words that we say. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you can be careful and then go back and understand that these are God's creations. God created them that way. And I think we're missing the point. God created these people. The way that they talk is because God allowed it to be and commanded it to be like this. And so while you sitting up here casting judgment on somebody, or talking down to somebody, or talking about somebody, understand that you are different too. You walk yourself over to Dubai or Ethiopia or Africa or Nigeria the way that you are, and they can't understand you. They're gonna laugh at you. There's a clip on my short, and I was trying to get the catfish. I was trying to get the catfish. My husband took me to the barbecue catfish because I had seen Eating with Q eat that catfish. And I said, I want me some barbecue catfish when I get to Nigeria. And he took me to a place where they was doing it. And I thought he was just going to go and talk to the lady and order the stuff and, just give it to me and stuff. And so he's like, no, babe, go talk to the lady. And so I get over there. I'm like, yes, ma'am. So what kind of fish do you have? I'm just trying to talk. And that lady, it was so funny. It was so quick. Oh, God. Every time I watch it, I laugh at myself, but I kind of cringe a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And so she said, ma'am, and it's on my shorts. You guys can go. It's like a video or something. Y'all see what I went to go get some cabbage. It's like a video. It's not a short. And so I said, yes, ma'am. What kind of fish do you have? Just talking. She said, ma'am, it's the catfish. Because that's all they sold. I didn't know. And I'm like, I'm like, yes, I would like the catfish. Ma'am, yes, the catfish. I'm like, yes, okay, yes, the catfish. Because that's all I can do. But in that brief moment, her tone was like, dummy, can't you see that's all we sell? And I'm just like, yes, the catfish. And I'm just like, oh my God. And why did I understand that that's all that they sold? You know what I'm saying? But there was a lot of moments like that when I was over there. And then at that point, I'm just like, he just gonna have to do everything. Cause it's just like things you just don't. Even when I was in the airport, there's a lot of stuff I wasn't understanding. And I had lost control. Like I had lost my composure. Like I was just I couldn't. I'm like I'm somewhere I don't understand. They not understanding me. I'm not used to the way things are going. I was somewhere where I was detached from. I didn't understand the culture, the language. I didn't understand what was going on. So you can imagine how foreigners feel when they come over here to our country and they don't understand the customs. They don't understand the language. They just trying to survive and work and take care of their family. And all we can give them is condemnation, a foul attitude, a dirty look, a disrespectful mouth, and they just try to make their way. Meanwhile, if they were back home, they would be thriving. Does that make sense? But that's all we can get them is our snootiness. You know what I'm saying? I have a true I can say Cinderella, but I have a friend, and they are foreigners. They are foreigners, and he was working for somebody. He was working for an employee, and he would just tell me horror stories, like just horror stories. You know what I'm saying? How the supervisors and the bosses would just treat him like crap. You understand what I'm saying? Meanwhile, his whole his home, his country, his family back in back where he's from are multimillionaires. It's just like, where do you get off? You know what I'm saying? You don't know what people come from. They just over here trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? Or they want to build their own. A lot of foreigners, they come over here to build their own life away from their family, to build their own, to have their own identity. You know what I'm saying? It ain't so much about finances or milking the United States. They just want their own identity, and they've heard so many great things about this country that they want to come and experience it. Because if you notice, when they come over here, some of them, when they do come over here, they don't have no problem surviving and having. They may tell you, oh, I gotta do this and I gotta get a job and I gotta work, but you never really see them lacking anything. You never really see them without. Because they believe in culture, they believe in community, they believe in cooperative economics, they believe in taking care of each other. It's us. We'll step over your neck to get to come out and try to look better than you with our bags and all of this stuff and all of this to showboat. Because we want to stand out. When they come together so everybody can win, they'll go buy them a gas station. You know what I'm saying? Save us some money, bring somebody else up, and they'll figure out how to do it without our help, because we don't help them like we supposed to. We don't, you know what I'm saying? Without our help, they'll build a life for themselves, and then they'll go bring somebody in there and tell them what to do and follow the pattern, and then they'll be successful, and so on and so on. We figure out a way to be successful and get on, and we gatekeep everything. We won't share and help each other. I have run into so many gatekeepers, it's ridiculous. You won't help us share, you won't help nobody, because you want all of it. You want to be the only successful one. You won't sit nobody, hey, you know what, come take, I'm getting ready to do a class on how I made it. I very seldom hear that. You say everybody can't come here, Queen. Everybody, okay, well, I don't even know what happened. Or you say everybody can't come here. I know that. I'm saying like the criminals said, no, we don't want these people to come over here. But I'm talking about the people who are here, you know what I'm saying? And people, honest people and hardworking people that they just want a better way of living. Or you know what I'm saying? We need to do a better job on our immigration. You can't just blindly block out somebody or blindly misjudge somebody. Blindly, you disrespect somebody just because you know they're foreigner. It's horrible. It's really hard. But guess what, y'all? Guess what? Everybody got to stand before God. Your harmful, the way you talk to them like they beneath you and all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And then people are just following the leader. They playing follow the leader here in the United States. They playing follow the leader. You know what I'm saying? Because of the tone of the country. You got people in their restaurants talking bad to people. They won't help them in the hospital. They won't give them care in the hospital. They won't, you know what I'm saying, give them care or help because because of the tone that's been set in the country. It is so sad. It's really sad. And I have a heart. I mean, and it's not. I've been this way before I got married. You know what I'm saying? But I have a heart for foreigners because they catch it. They catch it. They catch it. You know what I'm saying? I just can't understand them. We'll figure out how to understand them because I'm quite sure they can't understand you. I'm quite sure. I'm quite sure. You know what I'm saying? It's so sad. But not even just it's not even that. It's just that let's be kind to each other in general. You know what I'm saying? And then not only just the foreigners, but we also do this classism, I guess. I don't know. This class thing where, you ain't got what I got, so you ain't nobody. I'm gonna treat you this way because you drive this or you dress like this or I ain't on that level. I don't associate with those people. I don't be around those type of people because birds of a feather, they flock together. And if you want to be around this, if you want to be a multi-millionaire, hang around multi-millionaires. Okay, there may be some logic to that, but that don't mean that you treat somebody disrespectful or less than because they haven't acquired the things in life that you have. You shouldn't be that way. Because honey, the quicker that you come up, the quicker you can go down. You understand what I'm saying? The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. It's how you treat people. You are no better than nobody else. You may have more stuff than somebody else have, but you for sure ain't no better than nobody else because we all bleed red on the inside. You know what I'm saying? We are all God's children. And I have made it my business. Well, I can say made it my business. My mother raised me that way, not to look down on others, regardless of what your economical status is, regardless of what your class is or what you got and all that stuff. People still need just general respect. And a lot of times, a lot of times when people they become affluent in life, you know what I'm saying? They get this haughtiness about themselves or this air about themselves that they can just talk and treat people any old kind of way. You said show is you born, you gonna die. Absolutely. You can't take none of that stuff with you. You can't. You ain't nobody's no better than nobody. When I see stuff like that, it burns me up. I get disgusted by it. I literally I don't hang around them. I don't be around them because they ain't on my level. What level you think you on? What level do you think you on that God has not put you there? That the God has not put you on? What level do you think you on that God has not put you on? And just as easy as he can put you on there, he will snatch you down. I have seen it. Or you purposely trying to keep somebody down or keep somebody from having, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, where did we get off? It's this whole air of I'm better than, or acknowledge me. I got a spirit of importance. You could be the smartest person in the room. It's how you move. It's how you move with humility and with gratitude and in the spirit of helps. Can I help you alone? What can I do? Is there anything that I possess that may benefit you? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. A lot of my friends that are immigrants or something like that, and I ain't being funny or anything like that, but they know to call me if there's something they don't understand. They know to call me if it's something that they need help with. They know to call me because I want to help. I want to make it easy because I know the reason why, because I know it's some arrogant American that don't block them or I don't know, you're gonna have to talk to somebody else short with them. I know that is what's happening. It's just what it is. What it is. You know what I'm saying? We need to be kinder to one another. God gonna get you. You understand what I'm saying? You out here making people's lives hard, or I'm gonna bring them down a notch, or I'm gonna stop them. They not gonna be able to, because I know what to do. That type of behavior is gonna get you shut all the way down. Do you understand what I'm saying? God will put something on your life. You know, what you trying to do to them, he'll take it tenfold away from you. And I have seen it. I have seen it. I don't know if I told y'all this story, but when I was a little girl, me and my mom, you know, at the time we were, you know, going to this other church, going to this other church on the east side. And my mom, she didn't have much, but she, like I say, we always kept our hair done. We all, you know, my mama, she just loved God, and she taught me how to love God. And so we were always in church. You know what I'm saying? And this young lady that attended my mom's church, and I ain't gonna be on here too much longer, y'all. But this young lady that attended my mom's church, she was engaged, and my mother was always a wise woman. Like, the women will always come to my mom. She would always minister throughout her whole life. She's always had a ministry of help. She's always ministered to young women, to even young men, you know what I'm saying, in the neighborhood and stuff. She also always had some type of community thing going on. So this man, he was interested in this lady, and I remember this man distinctively. I was a little girl, but I remember this man distinctively coming to my mom's house for some reason. You know, I don't know. And just like trying to see if this woman was the right one. And my mother was ministering to him, because, you know, my mother was also a minister too. And I remember that. Because this woman attitude was so horrible. She was always snooty and all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so after he ended up marrying her. And the young lady had a daughter. And, you know, so on Sunday we were in Sunday school. What the heck is you looking at? I'm in this park that I'm in. I'm finna leave. And so oh God, let me so that kind of distracted me. I'm sorry, y'all. So we're in Sunday school, and we're dismissing the Sunday school. And I'm sitting there, little girl, I'm sitting in Sunday school, and a lady comes to get her daughter, because she's also in Sunday school, and she tells her daughter, and I'm a little girl at this time, but I never forgot it. It made an impact on me. And she said, you're not gonna be no bum like Clay Lane. And she took the girl. She said, you're not gonna be no bum like Clay Lane. And it made me feel so bad. I didn't even think that I was dressing bad. You know, my mama always had my hair done. She always dressed me. You know what I'm saying? We was just in church. But this lady was so arrogant. And she was just so full of herself. And she said to her daughter, she said, you're not going to be no bum like Clay Lane. And took her daughter. I will never forget that. Oh, hallelujah. And so that thing stayed with me for many years, decades, many years. And here I am now, a grown woman. And I'll tell you, this is why I say, God, you think you doing something, tearing down people, talking about people, you talking about what people wear. You don't know if that's the only dress that girl got, or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? You are here tearing down people and talking about people and lying on people and dragging people's life as if your life is on, like you own. Well, you ain't got no right and no place to talk about nobody's life or what they got. Because God done bless you to be able to rock this or drive this or have that. That still don't make you better than nobody else. You need to be giving God the glory instead of talking about somebody else. That's why I'm making my business. I try my best not to talk about women's personal appearance. Because as women, we got so much to prove in society. And as women, we catch it hard. And you don't know what that woman got to go home to, or what she got, or what she could be taking care of 10 kids, and she take care of herself last. That's why she looked the way she looked. So I try not to talk about women. As a grown woman, and I'm gonna end with this. As a grown woman, God allowed me to walk into a Burger King because I was hungry. I walked into a Burger King, and the woman was taking my order. And this woman was so batty out her mind. She was out her mind. And she remembered who I was. And I greeted her humbly. I didn't laugh. I didn't laugh at her calamity. She was out her mad, and she just, and I said, yeah, I would like a Whopper. You understand what I'm saying? And I went on about, I got my stuff. But you see how the tables turn? You think you here one moment, and the next day you're gonna be right here or down here. Talking about people, being mean to people for no reason, making people's lives hard for no reason. You just out here being an ugly, hot mess. Because your trust and your confidence lies in materialism. But don't you know one day you can have it and another day it can all be gone away. That's why you need to put your stock in your character, your morality, your value, how you talk to people. Are you loyal? Are you protective? Are you faithful? Are you good to people? Are you kind to people? Are you giving? Those are the things that I look for in individuals. If I'm going to call you a friend, I don't care what you got. I don't care if you ain't got nothing. If you loyal and I know I can count on you to be my friend, oh, we good. If I eat, you gonna eat. That's just how I am. But people don't have that mentality. So it don't matter about your descent. It don't matter who you are. Just be good. Just treat people right. Just do right by people. Do right. That's another. No, I ain't even gonna go off into that. But do right by people. While you out here trying to intentionally do being wrong, doing people wrong, God got something for you that you can't come back from. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. While you out here doing people wrong, because one of God's greatest commandments is that we love each other. While you out here doing people wrong, and I'm gonna do this, and I ain't doing, you know what I'm saying? I ain't, whatever. God got something for you. I promise you. He got something for you. You think you slipping away because your life is smooth right now? It's about to get bumpy. You keep moving in that same energy. Because we reap what we sow, right? Guys, I hope y'all have enjoyed my rant. This is your queen, Clayleen, saying be great, happy holidays. I'm about to take my tail back in the house so I can go ahead and relax and for the rest of the day. And since I'm snowed in, and you guys support the channel, like, share, subscribe. $sign CLAYLING. Tell somebody about our channel. We are growing. I see I've got new subscribers. Thank you guys for all your work. Thank you, Score, for being the baddest moderator up in this piece, being so consistent. Thank you. I appreciate that. Everybody who came through the live, Vaughn, SBK, Thrive, Vanessa, everybody who came through. If I miss somebody, charge it to my head and not my heart. You said we good, sis. Good as it get. All right, cool beans. All right, I love you guys, and I will see y'all. What's this, Wednesday? Maybe Friday or Saturday, okay? I love y'all. Be good. This is your Queen Clayleen saying be great. Bye-bye.